Well, people, you can always, again, as I said last night, and I'll say it again, Spencer Fearon is not here. Big show tonight. He's not here. Approximately 1 minute past 8. Lost my voice from last night. And as you can see, as usual, Tunde always has to be the one that's on time, ready to go, ready to start the show. I was away for a few weeks. Everything went to pot. Everything went to pot. What do you mean, where's the link? Spencer's saying, where's the link? Hold on. The link's in the thing. It's in the group. And again, you're doing things lastminute.com, Spencer Fearon. We're live now on YouTube. This is very unprofessional of you. Sorry, people, I had to say this. You know, this is live and direct show. Bruv, why are you phoning? Sorry, people. Let's just get Spencer. Why are you phoning? Sorry, I'm typing and I'm actually telling you what I'm typing as I'm doing it. I'm on line. This ain't good. Let me just send the link to him again. Forward all this technology business. Spencer just don't get it. He just don't get it. I was taught and I was brought up to be 30 minutes early to appointments. And that's how you're never late. Some of you people need to be taught, retaught how to get ahead in society. Lateness is not an excuse. There's no excuse for lateness. No excuse whatsoever. If you set your alarm for 1 hour prior to any meetings, you'll be there. Oh, then Gary said, I've just got in. Spence, I'm in the group. Bruv, nonsense going on. But anyway, tonight is going to be a great show. We have live with us from the US of A, the one, the only, the boss, the mastermind, Mr. Bill Haney, father, trainer, manager of the real Devin Haney, and also fresh off a humongous beatdown, broke up, bust up performance from Errol Spence Jr. Hopefully we'll have, I say hopefully because Spencer sorted that out. Hopefully we'll have Mr. Derek James, coach, trainer, mentor, big brother to the one and only Errol Spence. And I remember meeting the two of them in Vegas years back when Errol came to spar with Floyd. I think Errol was 2-0 at the time. And I remember Derek, funny thing was stuck out in my mind what he said to me one day in the gym. And I'm gonna see if you remember that. Probably not. You know, he was there on business. You know, Derek, you don't mess about. But he said something to me way back then. And, you know, as a young coach coming in the game, really having his own thought and mindset, you know, and even at that time, I didn't even know who Derek James was. You know, I was in America, I was in Floyd's gym, and I was just there eager to learn as a trainer. And he said some words to me, and I was like, yeah, I'm holding on to this. And I remember them words, the words he said to me to this day. And as I say, it's highly unlikely he will remember saying it to me, because as a trainer, you're always trying to give people jewels, areas. Bruv, you're late.
No, be quiet, man, and don't wind up. Listen.
Why is it?
If I could have just got the link.
Wait.
I just got the link from there straight away.
Why is it? When you are late, you're trying to get angry with me.
No,
why?
Because you got no. Listen to me. What do you mean about why?
I'm listening to you.
Are you late? You mean?
Right.
Why am I blood precious today?
Bruv, the link has been in the group. Hold on, wait there.
Wait a minute. Is the group? Stop for a second. The link that is on the group, is it the link that is sent to my computer, or is it a link that's sent to my WhatsApp?
It's sent in the group, Spence.
On the
And it was
WhatsApp.
sent in the group.
No,
It was sent in
no.
the group. No, listen. It was sent in the group.
Today, man.
No,
Let's just
what are
carry
you
on
getting
talking
angry
about
for?
boxing.
What are you getting
Why
angry
have
for?
blood pressure today?
No,
Why
what are
have
you getting
blood
angry for?
1 second.
Man, you have blood pressure because you know you're old already. Bro,
No,
the
but
link was
yeah.
the link was sent in the group at 5 p.m. I'm looking at the thing now.
Yeah,
And
in the
everybody got it. Everybody got it. The confirmation was there that Bill Haney will be. He said the man get angry and switch off. Bro, that's what I'm trying to say. The man get angry and switch off. Look off on me. Old type Mr. Pads. Come on, fam. These man, I keep telling man, I'm always the one who has to hold man up. Yusuf, you see the man just lock me off. Spencer gives me joke. But you know how it goes. Why is it that when people are in the wrong, they start getting angry at you? I never understand this. What are you getting angry at me for? I'm just simply stating the facts. And he's like, bro, he just locked me off. Hold tight, hustle, daily motion. You know, Spencer's on one already. Hold tight, Bobby Wright. Great show. Inbound tonight, mate. Fire signs. You know the set, Bobby. I don't know if you're still in sunny Spain, but it looks like you're having a wonderful time out there with your family. I love that. Repping the Stamina for Soul t-shirt. And know that not only can you get the Stamina for Soul merchandise at staminaforsoul.com, you can now even get it on the YouTube channel. There's all mugs on there, cups, iPhone holders, knickers, socks, everything, fam. We got everything. Just go on the YouTube channel. Well, you're obviously on the YouTube channel now because you're watching it on the YouTube channel and you see everything's there. But anyway, back to the point with Spencer. He's there getting angry with me because he's late. Tundi, hold on. No, seriously, Mr. Bads. Mr. Bads is saying, Tundi, does this happen off cam with you and Spencer? All the time. For years. The brother just don't change. You know when man, you know they say nerve cells that fire together, wire together, which simply put means if you keep repeating the same pattern, it's highly unlikely that you're going to change. Spencer Fearon is never going to change because this wiring of lateness is in him. And Gary will bear me witness. Gary will bear me witness. We will start a show. All right, let me give you an example. We'll start a show at 6 p.m. At 6 p.m. on the dot, no, at 5:59 p.m. on the dot, Spencer decides to go and have a cup of tea or get something from the fridge. 1 minute before. This is how he's always been like this. So I really don't expect no different. But anyway, the man behind the camera is backstage. He knows, bro. Yusuf Moore said he's eating. I'm telling you, fam. Old type Mr. English in the building. He says, laugh out loud. I know those ones. I have a friend. Oh, no, wait. Let me get up. Because people know they can relate. He said, laugh out loud. I know those ones. I have a friend who is always late when we go out. I've even lied about the start time. A man's always at, bruv, Anthony Yard. Anthony Yard and Spencer Fearon, my two closest. You can't win. You told them early, they come late. You told them late, they come early. Bruv, you just can't. These men move on their own time. These men move on their own time. Old time, Mr. English. You know, Mr. Pads, Tundi's eating some dates and drinking tea. 100%. As you say that, let me just have a glass of water. Because, you know, water is the best natural resource. Mind Marshy Shunts. This brother don't know nothing about timekeeping. Nothing. Zero. And I'm just telling you, but there always has to be, there's always one. But he'll get there, hopefully. Now, I say, I don't live in hope with him. Muhammad Ahmed, Tundi, did you hear about the young boxer Ali Tazim that died in a car crash last night? And you actually beat me to it. We was really actually, we're going to do it anyway. You know, condolences to the whole family. The news actually came to us last night, literally minutes before the Spence fight. So man had to just quickly readjust because, you know, a big fight's on, terrible news. He just signed with Pro Bellum, about to make his. I followed the youth throughout. I mean, I've been watching as a silent watcher of that young man through the amateurs and watching him, and I watch him and another young man on the pads, and you know, when I saw him turning pro last week, I said, yeah, you know, give thanks. And to hear that news last night, all I can simply say is rest in paradise, young man. God don't make no mistakes, and he, you know, let's pray he's gone into a better place. But shout out to Ali Tazim's whole family, condolences to the whole family, and we all here at The Fight Is Right are sending our deepest regrets and flowers. Ali Tazim died last night in a car crash. Condolences, family. Yes. Anyway, as I was saying, well, all right, cool. You come back now with some shiny bits above your head.
Yeah, I just said my prayers, bro.
Can you explain to all right, so you're gonna drop that one on man. You're gonna drop that one on man. You know when you're arguing with man and they just drop that one, like, yeah, I had to look after the youth. So what can you say to that? What is that you can say?
No. Well, if you let me talk, that's the problem with you. You like to yap too much. Drink your water and I'll explain to you. Number one is this. Let me talk. Number one is this.
What you getting angry?
No, I'm not getting angry. It's because I don't like when you keep on running off your mouth and you don't allow people to talk. I'm saying Gary usually,
bro, don't try to chat to me like that. Don't try to talk to me like that, bro. What do you think you're talking to? Bro, behave yourself.
Like I said,
sorry.
Bottom line is this.
Try to talk to me like some school teacher. I'm surprised. Talk to me proper.
Stop it, man. I'm talking. Right? Number one is this. Gary always sends me the link to my email address. My email address, not sent every time he sends it in the group chat. Don't send it to me like that. That goes to my phone. I need it to my computer so I can just click it and go on it. I'm not boasting to say like I ain't got time to be doing copy and paste and send it to myself so I can open up the thing. It don't work like that because it only works off of my Chrome. It doesn't work because I've got you got Apple. I've got Apple. I've got AirMac. I've got a MacBook. It doesn't work. So I don't want to hear your foolishness.
Spencer, he emailed it to you, bro.
No. He just emailed it to me a second ago when he said, and the only reason why I weren't badding up Gary because I know that his beautiful wife is going to have a beautiful child. That's the only reason. But you can take it and run it onto your thing. Maybe you can do your WhatsApp from your computer. I can't do that. I'm sorry.
Spence, you had the link from last week, bro.
What are you talking? How can I have the link from last week? What are you talking about?
Link. It's the same link.
It's not the same link. The same link doesn't work.
Link,
all right, cool. Whatever, man. I'm done talking.
Bro,
whatever.
You see this fasting thing? You see when man's fasting? Bro, they're all what's the word? Discombobulated. I always say
I'm never ever discombobulated at all. You know what I mean? And the only reason why you knew about the word discombobulated is because you used to listen to Freddie Pacheco because he used to use that regular and Ali used to play.
Discombobulated, not discombobulated. Yeah. I always say bobulated, but it's bobulated. Discombobulated.
Yeah, bro, listen to me. No, it's not a case of like not using a computer. They send it to us on a group chat on WhatsApp that goes to my phone. It doesn't go to my computer. I need it to be sent to my email address so I can click it so it goes to Chrome. Otherwise, it doesn't go to Chrome and off of my laptop, it doesn't allow me to do the Zoom or the group chat thing. It doesn't allow me to do it. So that's the reason why. So when man said, "Are you late?" Gary just literally sent me the thing, and I go on it. Tunde said, "Oh, where are you?" This is not like last night. Sarah, no problem. I will never leave you lot again. I'll tell you that now.
So let me give you a little heads up, because we're now in the year 2022. All you need to do is copy and paste and forward to your email address. That's what you need to do, fam.
Listen, yeah. But I'm just telling you now, Tunde. You must think like I'm putting that. These are my strong points. These are not my strong points. And that's that.
Don't try and bust that one on us again. I don't know whether the fight is right, listeners are listening to this, but Spencer's just trying to make man feel sorry for him. But we don't feel sorry for you because there's no excuse for lateness. It's just that. I don't care what you say. I don't care what you say.
Whatever, man.
You're not setting a good example.
When I was training with you, wait, when I was training with you, was I ever late for the gym?
Bro, we're not talking about that.
No, but was I ever late for the gym? Exactly.
Anyway, listen, we're 15 minutes deep into the show. Kurt Campbell owes Kurt Campbell, you know it, bro. Spencer on a long thing, but don't watch that. He's already getting mad. Bruv, QA. I swear that Tunde's account just went Spencer.
Nah, it's not that. It's not that. Tunde knows better. So it's not even a case like winding up. It's like when Tunde says, "Oh, you're late." I'm thinking, who are you to tell me about late? Are you like a little box in your mouth about, "Oh, you're late"? I say, you idiot. "Oh, you're late." You know. I'll tell you next.
When
man.
You're back and you're cooking back. You ain't boxing nothing. I'll lick you down with a left foot right.
Look, what, with your tongue? You're gonna lick me down with your tongue? You idiot! About lick down what? Shut up, man. You idiot.
All right. Bruv, no old man with no grey hairs can lick me down.
Let me tell you this, man. Tunde, next thing, the grey hairs signify wisdom.
Here we go.
Number one, right? The grey hairs signify wisdom. And Tunde, because you can't grow a beard.
So them little drunkard man in front now with grey hairs, that's wisdom.
They've got wisdom. They've got wisdom. They have got wisdom. They've got wisdom in drunkenness. But my wisdom is not in drunkenness.
So what's your point? Anyway, can we start the show, please? It's because you're late that we're going into this thing here. We have two esteemed guests, on tonight.
Yeah, look at the question that's coming in already. The guesses. Who are the guesses?
Here we go. We have two esteemed guests.
Tunde is doing. Nah. It's always love between me and Tunde. So this is how it goes. Like you lot, but yeah, the guesses.
Bible English.
Who are the guesses, Tunde? Tell me who the guesses are.
We have two esteemed guests tonight who hopefully won't be late from the US of A, and hopefully we'll be talking more seriously about obviously the great undisputed lightweight contest and the whole business of Devin Haney and Haney Promotions with the great man himself, Bill, who I will send a link around 8:30. And hopefully prior to that, if you've done your side of the bargain, we will be joined by Derek James from Dallas, Texas, to really talk about last night's tremendous victory from Errol Spence Jr.
Yep, it was an excellent victory, and that was great work. No one can't tell me that wasn't great. That was great work by Errol Spence. And yeah, I salute to watching that fight. And if you guys were with us, a lot of you were on it with us yesterday for the fight along. Tunde wakes you up because it was 4 o'clock in the morning. Tunde wakes up people. Swear down. You know what I mean? And that's a pleasure. Even though he bleaches his teeth, but I'm just trying to say like this now. But Tunde was on fire yesterday. Early hours of this morning, he was on fire. And yeah, Derek spoke to Derek James the other day, and he was like, he couldn't believe. He said, like, to touch on it, he said, "Look at this, man. Anthony Joshua came to Houston, and like where we were was like half an hour from where it was, and he didn't come and check me. You know what I mean? When he went over there, but that's because like they're not really watching the work that you've got. 2 top 10 pound for pound fighters that you train. That's serious. You know what I mean? And
he's got 6 belts.
6 belts.
Charlo's got 3, and now Errol's got 3. And he could have 2 undisputed champions by the end of the year.
I'm telling you. You know what I mean? So he could do, because the grouping or the thing that separated those guys, it's not so big anymore. You know what I mean? It's not so big anymore. It was big, but it's not so big anymore because of the performance that Errol Spence put in yesterday. Like before, and I could say like I always fancied Terence Crawford against Errol Spence, but the way Errol Spence put in that work yesterday, nobody is gonna do that to Ugas before, and nobody's gonna do it to him after like that. No way. That was horrible, man. That was a real beatdown.
It was a beatdown, and admittedly, at the time when Errol got buzzed, it was, as in his own words, a rookie mistake, because his gumshoe come out his mouth and he looked on the floor, and
Yeah.
but Ugas really didn't. He should have been more spiteful. I would have fling down some different kind of punches, because that was his one opportunity he had in that whole fight. To be honest with you,
It would be one opportunity.
And you know, Errol said it was a rookie mistake, his bad. You know, the rule is protect yourself at all times, and he didn't do that. He switched off. But I'll be honest with you, after that particular incident, that just got Errol mad, because he came out like a demon in the next round, and we knew the fight was going to be stopped. When the doctor came up for the second time, I think the ref was actually very compassionate to Ugas by calling the ref. Because if he had one of them man like Steve Smoger or them man there like to see man go on the floor.
They do.
Yeah,
They do.
them man they're serious
do.
referees. Or tell me another referee loves a good punch up. McCanty. Arthur McCanty loves a good punch up as well.
Arthur McCanty Jr. Yeah, he does.
Yeah.
I remember, like his dad was the man that refereed Ali Frazier.
Yes.
With that March of '71. You know what I mean? So it's like he's come from that lineage. So in those days, you got to think like in the '70s. In the '70s, man used to let fights go. I've seen some ridiculous beatings where they just let the fights continue. They're saying like, we don't want to hear no excuses from no one. Right. But now with the safety elements of boxing and everything else, people it's all changed. All me, thank you very much for the £2. Right. Big up Stamina for Sale. Ha ha ha. We are dead round here. Bless you. Thank you so much for the £2 and starting the ball rolling. So I mean, we're grateful for you, man. We appreciate you.
Steve Willis, Hustle Daily Motivation, said as well. Steve Willis, another ref that likes a good punch up.
He's like
yeah. He's a serious ref. He gets involved in the entertainment. But he certainly
does, man. He certainly does.
Going back on the actual performance, I think that's got to be one of, even I was speaking with Devin's dad today, Bill, earlier on, and that's got to be ranked as one of, if not Errol's best performance, especially after coming from such serious injuries and incidents in the past few years, namely the car crash and also the eye surgery. And to perform like that, both times going straight back in, listen, you got to take it out to Errol. And he proved, he's saying, I'm the best. I don't need no tune-up fight. A lot of these fighters, they would have taken tune-up fights. And to be honest with you, you can't even be blamed for doing that. But Errol just he believes in himself so much. He's saying, all right, first one, we'll do with Danny Garcia after the car crash. Second one, straight in with Ugas, the man who just beat Pacquiao, stole his Pacquiao money. And yeah, boom. What a fighter, Spence. What a fighter.
You know I mean? Credit where credit's due. Also, you know what I mean, got a big up Black Fight fan. Like, he was telling me, like, Spence is gonna put that work in. You know what I mean? Spence is gonna put that work in. And one thing that I gotta give those guys is, like, especially the guys from Texas, they really get behind their guy and support their guy. Big up Craig Watts. Thank you so much for the £3 super sticker. You just gave the super sticker, but no question. Run a question anyway. We'll like to read it out. But thank you so much, Craig Watts. Salute, my friend.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. So I'm getting Bill scheduled around what's the time now? 9 p.m. Have you got time? Yeah. Have you got time for Derek?
because you said that, I told Derek around about the same time, but I've sent him the link now, and we'll holler back because he sent me a message back earlier today saying, yeah, he'll jump on the show. And I thought, well, respect, because I know, like, after a performance like that, you could be out partying or all the rest of it. One thing I give Derek D. James, I mean, he's a very humble guy, you know.
Very. He don't do the party and stuff.
Yeah, he's a very, very humble guy. Very, I mean, he's a down to earth human being. I got a lot of time for him, you know. Got a lot of time for him. But yeah, so it's been sent to him. I'm just gonna see. Otherwise, I was gonna call the brother in a second anyway, man. But anyway, please forgive me. I've got to just quickly put some rice in a bowl so I can break my fast properly.
I ain't saying nothing. Gary, I ain't saying nothing. What you doing, Spence? Where you going now?
I'm breaking my fast properly, bro.
Okay, I see. Shante, I ain't saying nothing. Olan, Thomas Newell, thank you for the £5 donation, sir. He says, how long could Benn last against Spence, Crawford, or Innes in the current form? Spencer?
What I saw yesterday, regardless that it was an old guy, I'm seeing a tenacity inside Conor Benn, but there's also a patience to it. And it's kind of weird to explain that, because he'll throw these mad bursts, but you can see, like, with the head movement, he's looking to clap out brothers. He's looking to really put that hurt on guys, similar to his dad. But he's really looking to put that hurt on. He's really looking to put that hurt on guys. When people are talking about Boots Innes is still untested.
You took the
right?
words right out of my mouth.
Right. He's a don't get twisted. He's an excellent talent. Anyone can see that. I mean, Stevie Wonder could have that written down, right? He's an incredible talent, but he hasn't fought nobody yet for us to say, well, then you can actually bring that talent in with these other guys, right? So we don't know. That's number one. But when you're talking about putting him up against Spence and Crawford, you ain't ready for those guys yet, because those guys are elites in their thing. These men, you know what I mean? Those guys are elite in what they do. Those guys have reached a higher level, have performed at a higher level, and been doing it for a very, very long time. So no, I can't put him in with those guys yet.
Great answer, Spence. I would just basically say time will tell.
Yeah.
Time will tell. You have a young man, tenacious, aggressive, can obviously punch a bit, and very ambitious.
Yeah.
And that is Conor Benn. And I feel that when you've got those mixture of attributes, then anything's possible. You know, sometimes we look at, I keep saying it, sometimes we look at these Americans like they're gods. Well, if they're gods, I'm a god. That's the mindset of fighters.
Simple as that. Simple as
so if they can do it, why can't we? You know, and that's it. You know, you don't go in, you know, as a fighter, you're not supposed to go in there second guessing yourself, thinking the next man's better than you. Because if you do, you already lost. And I know young Conor, he ain't thinking that none of these boys are better than him. He's thinking like, all right, cool, let's have it. And I like that attitude from young Conor Benn. And as I say, he is, and let me highlight, young Conor Benn. There's still a lot of time left in terms of Bud and Crawford. That's the next generation that's ready to go out. Deal with your generation, which is the Virgil Ortizes, the Boots Inneses. There's a few other young waterweights.
Also, Michael McKinson.
Now you see, we say at the same time. Let's not forget McKinson, still unbeaten, still beating unbeaten fighters. Again, taking on unbeaten fighters, taking on banana skins and peeling them on their home turf. So let's just wait and see. Yeah. Come on.
With a serious fade.
Come on, OTG. You know the set. Spence hooked me up with these man them. So, you know, it's old type Kobe.
Listen, let me tell man this now. The barber that we go to, This is how serious it is. Every man who I've got respect for will say to me, Spence, who things up your hair? And they end up going to the same barber. You know what I mean? So furthermore, Kobe, I'm going to record this part. What are we at? We're 30 minutes in. Me and my son shouldn't be paying to get our haircuts because the amount of clients that I give this you know.
Yeah, or CK Flash and them man there.
Yeah, exactly. All of them man run there because them man, you know, them man, they like sit down and watch, man. They just watch a man hard.
Out at CK Flash, manager of young BMX champion Kyle, what's his surname? Kyle White. Out at CK, one of the mans them. Meet him regularly every week in the barber shop. We break bread, have great conversation, like-minded individuals helping the younger generation.
Come on, he's killing it. Mr. Pads, is the barber Jamaican? No, the barber is Ghanaian. And not parents are Ghanaian and they're born here. They were born in Ghana. They've come to the UK and they're doing fantastically well now. And one thing, reason why I give this guy, Kobe, our barber, all the work is because this brother, Tunde, goes to the barber shop at 6 o'clock in the morning. Know that part there. And the barber's coming from some far place to come there to make sure he's cutting Tunde's hair for that time. So for that, now I'm saying, yeah. Let's
deal with this question. Thank you, Bernard Cardia, for the £5 donation. He said, yes, brothers, what do you think the Conor Benn team did right as opposed to the Eubank Junior team? That's a good one.
I'm going to tell you the truth. Their dad weren't involved. Simple as that. And I love Chris Eubank Sr., but it is what it is, right? Because what's happened now? What's happened now? The dad is now parted from the son. He's still there ringside with the fights and that, but the dad's now parted for the son. Before, the dad was too involved. You know what I mean? It was too involved. And Nigel was saying, listen, I know I've got to go and I've got to tell 3 people with my son. Right? And that's what happened.
Can you repeat that, please? Because I didn't understand what you just said.
I've got to give these guys to my son, make them take over and my kids a good father. Right? And that's what he did. He was brave enough to go and do that. Eubank Senior, at first it was like, it's a Eubank Senior thing, but I can also be vicarious because it's the Eubank name and the brand. Don't get twisted. When Eubank Senior was fighting at his height, him and Nigel Benn, was that November of 1990 when they fought in the Birmingham NEC.
The knowledge.
Right? That was 18 million viewers that tuned in the UK to watch. At that time, I think we had something like 55 million people in the country. That's how many people tuned in to watch on a Sunday, Tunde. That's how serious that was, right? But there's sometimes where like you've got to be confident enough to pass over the reins to someone else to say, all right, then you go do this. And you know it goes because you're going to think, right, it's my son. I want people to realize this now. Tunde's son is a fantastic footballer. But man don't realize that Tunde could kick ball on another level. You know what I mean? He could kick Tunde. You could kick. I'm just being real. I remember when they did the Africa versus the West Indies and Tunde scored that goal.
Jamaica.
Now people are still talking about that goal because that was 1996. That was 96, you know?
Yeah, imagine. Your memory is different.
When Roops put that on, I remember that because I didn't even know Tunde back then. We just knew like, right, this youth from Road doing these bits. You know what I mean? But it was like, but Tunde said, listen, my son can play football. He's groomed that way. You know what I mean? He knows, you know what I mean? The mother gave birth to a God, saying, right. But I know, like, I'm supporting my son and I'm there for my son, but I'm not forcing it down. Play football, son. Play football, son. Play. You didn't do that, son. I know because I was there. You know what I mean? So And there lies the difference. Sometimes you got to be brave enough to say, okay, then, yeah, unless it's your true desire. And if your true desire for your child's success, your true desire, you don't really want to be too involved in it. Like, you want to put your face all up. Yeah, we're a team. Look what we're doing. Because when you're doing that, it's not really about your son. It's about you. So I'm saying that being a major thing. Props to Nigel Benn. Like, he braved himself to say, okay, then let these guys take care of my son and do what they're doing with my son. And every now and then I will just bless the thing and you're going to know that I'm here. So respect to Nigel Benn for that.
Hold tight, Jose Sejura, sending love all the way from Brooklyn, New York. Big up, Jose.
Brilliant, man. Thank you very much.
Thank you for your support. There are some great suggestions of fights. Isaac Cruz against Ryan Garcia. I can't see that fight happening anytime soon because Isaac Cruz is an animal. And I remember when that fight was first muted, Leonard Ellaby said, "Come on, man,
That ain't gonna happen.
He ain't fighting no Ryan Garcia. They want to keep that train running for a little while." McKenson against Benn is a good fight.
That fight never happening. unless if the unification bout happens at welterweight and then the titles then get broken, get fragmented, and they say, well, you two end up fighting for the WBO or whatever, then yeah. But apart from that, they're not going to fight unless the world title's online.
Mikey Garcia for Conor. Oh, that's a good one. Kavalaskis.
Listen, forget Kavalaskis. All right?
He's a tough hombre, you know.
Right? I'm just telling you now, forget Kavalaskis, as far as I'm concerned, flawed Bud Crawford. Kavalaskis broke up Avanesian. And people are talking about Avanesian for Ben. Remember, Kavalaskis brought that up, you know.
I need to watch that fight.
Tunde, he punch it up. So, no. No one don't need to be mixing up with that guy. That guy's serious.
Yep, Mikey Garcia is too early for Conor. Maybe, but Mikey Garcia has been eating a lot of tacos. And Errol Spence punched the tacos out of his belly when they fought in Dallas, Texas. And I don't know why he kept on putting his hand up at the end of every round. I don't know who he was trying to trick, but Errol just beat him up. Two-man Errol just beat up, send them into retirement. Danny and Mikey Garcia. And let me tell you something. After that hellacious whooping last night, I don't know when we're going to see Ugas back in the ring. Because that was a first class. You know when you're scared to go home to get beaten from your mom or your dad? Bro, it was one of them beatings. That beating was too much. Errol, and to be fair, Derek said it prior to the fight. He said Errol is vicious in camp. Right now, he's on some vicious things. So, you know, as was said, as was done. And again, we can break down that fight, and it was just a stellar performance from Errol. And I can't wait to touch base with Derek and just ask him, you know, preparations and post-fight thoughts and views, and just a great performance. What next for Errol Spence?
Come on. There's only one fight. That's what's next. It's Crawford and done. That's the fight.
I see Bo Mac talking some smack on Twitter. That Barry said, "I swear we're gonna beat this man's ass." That's interesting. Is that true, Spence? Goucher says it's never, or there has never been a 4-title welterweight champ. And
he's absolutely right. Okay. Not in the 4-belt era. Zab Bruno was the last guy in 2006. 2006, I believe. Yeah, when he knocked out Corey Spinks. After fight, 2 fights prior, he got subsequently outpointed by Corey Spinks, even though he floored him in the last round. And then, yeah, Zab Judo was the last undisputed world welterweight champion. He's the last.
And I asked this yesterday. who was the last undisputed lightweight champion. And to my surprise, you said it was Kendall Holt.
I believe it's Kendall Holt.
Maybe Bill can give us another update, but I can't remember one other than Kendall. I remember Kendall having all those belts around him.
Yeah.
Interesting. But all in all, what do you think of Conor Benn's performance last night? As quick as it was.
It was a great performance, though. All you got to do, you got to beat the guys who are in front of him. And he said, well, he's got an old man in front of him. Well, yeah, that's right. He punched him up and made him look even older. You know what I mean? That was a good performance. But this is called promoting. You have... Now, here's the difference is this. We've been allowed to see Conor Benn grow. I mean, remember when he fought the French guy and everyone thought that he lost that fight? He got dropped twice or something, and they gave it to Conor by 2 rounds. And people was trying to work out the maths in that one.
Yes,
right. So, I believe that what we're seeing right now with Conor Benn, I think we should be excited because one thing for certain, he actually wants it. So he's not mucking around. He actually wants it. He wants to go in there. He wants to fight. And as you were telling us as well, Tom, O'Hara Davis is a very strong human being. And by O'Hara Davis' own admission, he's saying that, yeah, Conor is one strong hombre. So, and he's learning. He didn't have no great exponential amateur career. He's learning on the job. And he's doing pretty well doing it. You know what I mean? Similar to the kid that you got, Iyad. They've been learning on the job.
Yes.
Because they didn't come from, there's certain things or like, what is it? Like certain terminology, certain vernacular of boxing that they're not really going to get. Irrespective that your dad was Nigel Benn. Yeah, it gives you a slight head start, but regardless that gives you a slight head start, that still doesn't mean nothing. My dad was a plane engineer. Tunde, I don't knock about planes. Right. So props to Conor Benn. I think he's moving in the right way because of what he's got. But we shall see when he's in there with a better class of opponent and they start firing back at him. But I think so far, I think he's going to be all right. I really do. I think he's going to be all right.
Yeah. Big up young Conor. Wishing him nothing but the best, continued success. It's a tough business. Right now, he's a draw. So all these men from the UK shores that are calling out Conor's name, to be honest with you, you're just wasting their breath. Because they just need... Conor's a name now, so we need sellout fights. We don't need... it gets to a point where it's a business and numbers mean something. So if you ain't bringing in no numbers and you're a dangerous guy, you ain't getting a fight. Bro, that's how it works. That's just how it goes at the top level. So Errol hopefully will get that fight, and what a fight it will be. What a fight it will be, because Errol Bud Crawford is a very cerebral fighter, but then again, so is Errol, and you heard that last night in a post-fight interview. He was working things out as the fight was. The left uppercut was a thing to behold.
It was a beauty.
The left uppercut by Errol was serious. And the body shots, we all know that Errol and his body shots are murderous. And I don't know why Ugas thought he could just stand there like it was Manny Pacquiao. Imagine Errol to fight Manny Pacquiao.
That would have been a wicked fight,
No. He would have.
But it would have stopped, man.
Pacquiao would not have finished that fight. It's God that made that fight mash up. I'm telling you, because that wouldn't have been a nice way for Manny Pacquiao to go out.
Juju mom. She does that juju.
That wouldn't have been a nice way for Manny Pacquiao to go out, because Errol would have put a beating on Manny Pacquiao at that age, especially. Mr. Paz says, Tunde, what do you think about El Rayo, aka Venezuela? Looked like a mismatch to me yesterday. It was a great performance from a young man who really was up against a good fighter. I think it's Francisco Vargas. He only had like three losses. Good fighter. He was a former Olympian, and my man just took him out easy peasy. So looking forward to the career and the progression of young Venezuela. I think he's in Benavides seniors camp, so he's getting some good work.
He gets some excellent work
daily. And again, that's fights we want to see. Benavides seems to be a name that everyone's talking about in the US.
Did you see Benavides and Charlo kicked off at ringside?
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Charlo said, "You're a pussy." Bro, these American men give me joking though. But I'm telling you, that's going to be a serious fight. Because I'll be honest with you, I ain't really studied Benavides, but I'm yet to see him against a top dog. Who has he beat? Can one of the American people online tell me who Benavides has beat? That I must be getting all excited. I've heard about the sparring with GGG, with Canelo, with all these other guys, but I want to know what the credibility. I want to know who he has beaten. Stack Mill TV says nobody. Yeah, so I'm trying to say I need some evidence. I need some evidence. I hear the talk, but I ain't see no evidence. He definitely looks big. Definitely, Benavides looks huge. He definitely looks big. Definitely a big guy. But until I see some noteworthy wins against good fighters, I'm not gonna get too excited. Maybe he's just that good that nobody wants to mix it with him because they know it's a dangerous fight. But he's fighting what's this boy that Billy Joe beat? The Canadian boy. What's the Canadian boy that Billy Joe beat? Billy Joe went over there.
Lemieux, David Lemieux.
David Lemieux, yeah, he's fighting Lemieux. Lemieux, I don't know how much he's got left. But it's gonna be a name, I would say, on his resume. Then hopefully, even Jarrell, fighting Jarrell. Oh, we beat David Jarrell. Andre, he beat Anthony Jarrell.
Jarrell's an old guy. School guy, but he's an old guy.
Yeah. Isn't he moved up to light heavy now? Or is that the brother? One of them, or maybe he's floating 6'8", 7'5". But yeah, Jose Verge says he's going to retire his ass. Lemieux, yeah, Lemieux. I thought Lemieux was retired. I'll be honest with you. That's Andre. Yeah, Andre has gone up to 175. So again, the 175 division is cracking right now. One of the best divisions in boxing, along with the ever solid welterweight division and the heavyweight division. And let's talk about next week. Mega match, the biggest grossing purse for a heavyweight contest ever. It's probably going to be the biggest ever capacity for a heavyweight fight. Or any fight. I wouldn't say any fight. Because others used to jam out the place.
For a heavyweight fight, it is. That's ridiculous. I think the record still held, was it 94? Who lost Cesar Chavez versus... Oh man, why does his name come out of my head? But it was one of the Chavez fights, which they had that fight in Mexico, and that was 127,000.
Yeah, outside. I'm not watching that fight. Serious.
Yeah. Greg Horgan, that's the guy, right?
Come on, the knowledge.
Yeah, that was the highest number. But in the UK, they had numbers like that. This is ridiculous.
Watch approaching 9 p.m.
Big
so
Bill
I'm gonna
Haney.
message Bill. Make sure have you heard any feedback from?
No, I just phoned him. It took a little time to go through. Like he might be traveling, but we'll get him.
Yeah, I've texted him. Hopefully they won't. Oh, SK Ann says White stops Fury. Let me just ask the people online. 1 for Tyson Fury, 2 for Dylan White. Let me see who you guys think is going to win that fight. 1 for Tyson Fury, 2 for Dylan White. We're going into fight week in a few hours. It's going to be a great fight. 2. OG Slim says 2. QM says 2. Straight off the back, Dylan White. All right, cool. We have some bare numbers coming here fast. Hold on, wait there. M2. Games love you. 1. That's Fury. Dylan. Wow. Dylan. Oh, it must be Bear Bricks the man online. Bear Bricks the man online on this thing right now. Old time Alexander Wilson. 1. That's Tyson. Dylan. Tyson. Dylan. Oh, wow. I think Fury wins, but want White to win. I echo those. That 1. That's Tyson. That's Dylan. Tyson. Fury. Dylan. Yeah. Tyson. It's going to be a serious fight. But I would say, surprisingly or unsurprisingly, most people on there are rooting for Dylan. What did you make of Dave Allen's comments about Fury just being too big, too strong, and too technical in this fight?
He fought Dylan in 2017. Dylan's improved a lot since then. I think that was Dylan's first fight with Mark Tibbs.
Okay.
Right. So when you do that, he was with Jonathan Banks, and then he came in second best against Anthony Joshua, and then so he was learning. So that Dylan White isn't the Dylan White that we're seeing today. And remember, Dave Allen got that fight by constantly harassing Dylan on Twitter and stuff like that. And then Eddie Hearn thought, oh yeah. And not only that, but Dave Allen has got a very, very good fan base. So they made that fight. He's going to say that because he really does idolize Tyson Fury. He really does say like, nah, I sparred them all. I sparred with Joshua. I've been in there with Dylan White. I sparred with Tyson Fury. And he was saying like Tyson Fury technically is head and shoulders above any heavyweight he's been in there with. He boxed Louis Ortiz. He's saying Tyson Fury's head and shoulders above these guys. And I get it, but this fight, as my brother from another mother keeps on saying, for Dylan White, this is a roadman science here. This is what this fight is. Don't feel like Dylan's coming to say, right, I'm gonna get into a boxing match with you. Because you ain't gonna win that. You know what I mean? The attributes what Tyson Fury has, the skill level that he has. I keep on saying to you, Tyson Fury was born, came out of his mother's womb with boxing gloves on. He's lived this. He knows this game. When I mean, like he knows game.
I should manage that, Spence.
Huh? That's how he come out. So I'm saying Dylan knows, like, right, we have to end this. We got to bring this into a fight. And those are insights of people that have worked with Tyson Fury saying, oh, we can't afford to get into a fight. But we don't know. There's been a lot of things that have progressed over the last how long? We don't know what could happen.
It's heavyweight boxing at the end of the day. And as you say, anything can happen on a night. We don't know the ins and outs of both camps. What we do know is in heavyweight boxing, one punch can done the dance. And if you're not concentrated for 36 minutes, or you don't have the ability to concentrate for 36 minutes, it could be curtains. Regardless if a man is a stellar boxer, move like Ali, anything can happen. I mean, it's gonna be one of them ones. As I've said, my heart wants Dylan. If you're talking about boxing skills, then you gotta lean to Fury. But my heart is more powerful than my mouth. The heart is the most powerful instrument in the body, if you don't know, scientifically. And my heart, I'm just telling it, I'm saying it. My heart was Dylan to win that fight. I don't care. So yeah, it's gonna be a great fight, and the build up. I'm not too sure how much Dylan's gonna participate this week in the build up. Obviously, contractually, he was still saying that certain things need to be ironed out. Other than that, you see him at the weigh-in, and bro, even the weigh-in's gonna be a madness. So man, Frank better have got the security sorted.
Trust me, I'm going to the weigh-in, you know.
Yeah, I'm gonna phone Frank. Where's that weigh-in? I don't know. I'll probably be in the gym anyway, but
Yeah, but
I'll definitely be at the fight.
I'm going to the weigh-in. I'm going to the weigh-in.
Yeah, it's gonna be jammed.
It's gonna be
jammed. I think even the weigh-in will be an event, which again is fantastic for UK boxing, and we just want to see a good fight. We just want to see a good. Like, all the talk about Dylan ain't turning up. He's gonna pull an injury, bruv. Man's in the building. Yeah, OTGV TV. I'm gonna stop putting up your comments because you're saying I'm putting them up because you know I'm right, but I'm just saying I'm just seeing it. Listen, we all want Dylan to win. Well, when I say we all want, there's a lot of Tyson Fury fans out there, and according to what some have said, it's the Tyson Fury show. The tickets were sold because of Tyson Fury. I don't know how true that is because it does take two to tango.
I don't believe that. I'm going to tell you this now. I don't believe that. If Tyson Fury was fighting, let's say he was fighting Lewis Ortiz, it wouldn't have sold like this. It's because it's two Brits, and that's why. You know what I mean? It's two British fighters, and that is what has made this fight sell in the manner of what it's sold. You know what I mean? And like skill, you gotta think. We go back to what was it? October of '94. Lennox Lewis versus Frank Bruno.
The knowledge,
right? That fight was big because Frank Bruno was an iconic figure of British boxing, right? And also the fact that Lennox Lewis was the first Brit since Bob Fitzsimmons to become a world champion, even though he was awarded a belt. But we remember that he famously knocked out Razor Ruddock October 30th, 1992. And that put him in position to say that, yeah, he's this guy. And then a little bit more famously threw the WBC belt in the bin because he refused to fight Lennox Lewis. Not that he was a frightened of Lennox Lewis, it's like Lennox Lewis wasn't taking the deal because they offered him 90-10 split. And Lennox said, no, I'm not taking that, bro. Right? So anyway, we go on. That fight was big. Then for two Brits to fight again, we had the debacle in Audley Harrison versus David Haye. And it was a debacle because after that, Sky pulled away from doing pay-per-views.
Is that the fight when David Haye shouted, now?
Yeah.
The man shouted now and then clapped Audley. And bro, it's like they staged the thing, but I never believed that story. But
nah, it was a stage, but David Haye nodded to him. He nodded. But that was more to do like, he was like, you know, when you're in a fight, you just nod at a man like, well, watch. It was one of them ones. I don't think there was anything dodgy there. Right? Anyway, so that done. So we have yet to have two British heavyweights fighting for the lineal heavyweight championship. Right? So we're talking about the lineal heavyweight championship is who we got. We go down the whole line and say, Rodin, you're the real champ. So this has never been done. And also thrown into boot of that is the Ring Magazine belt. And regardless that people say, oh, well, I don't know nothing about Ring Magazine. No, that's a big thing. That is a big thing. Historically, it's a big thing. Right? And we should also hold on to history. So this is what makes this fight so big. It makes it so big because both have stories. They got amazing stories. You know what I mean? The fact that Tyson Fury lost in body weight, the equivalent of Terence Crawford, to make a comeback. The fact that Tyson Fury battled mental health issues, drink and drugs problems to come back and fight. Dillian White's story is unprecedented for the fact that when he was a 17-year-old doing the doors, he got shot. He was too frightened to go to the police. He went home and took out the bullets with pliers in his house. You know what I mean? Dillian White being a father at age 13. This is what makes this so great. The fact that we've seen Dillian White tumble and fall, and the mere fact that he's just like, he's so pig-headed that he refuses to accept defeat. This is what makes this fight sell, right? So we can't just say, well, it's a Tyson Fury show, it's a Tyson Fury show. If we buy into everyone saying, yes, it's a Tyson Fury show, then we'll run with it. But as noted, when Tyson Fury is in America, as much as the people will love him out there, but they're not loving him as much that they're going to pay their money to go and see him, because he hasn't had sold-out contests out in America. The 3 fights with Deontay Wilder, they weren't sold out.
And Otto, I think it's Otto Wallen. I saw a comment in there, man said they sold 3,500 tickets.
3,500 tickets, Tom. Right? So, off of the back of that, let's put these things into perspective. Yes, Tyson Fury is that guy where we're saying, yeah, but no. If he wasn't fighting Dillian White, I don't believe that they'll be doing 94,000 tickets. I'm pretty sure
it's energy.
Tickets.
It's energy. Too energy, man.
Right. And it's like people are here, like all the people, they're not giving Dillian White the credit that Dillian White is like a bad toothache because he's not going away.
I like that one, Spence. I like that one.
So let's give Dillian White his credit. And yeah, of course, me and Tony, we're South Londoners. Yep, we've known Dillian from the get-go. And I mean from the get-go, I'm talking when he was a little pup, when he was around Leroy Harris. Yes, we've known Dillian White from then. We know Dillian White's people and all the rest of it. So yes, obviously, there's nothing wrong with us saying that we're backing him. Go on, Ton.
Can I just put up this comment, please?
Go on. I rest my case. Thank you very much, Leah. Thank you so much.
Trust me.
Give him a round of applause. Give him a round of applause, Tundi. Just give him a round of applause.
Dillian has been selling out O2 from a long time.
All right.
And Dillian, I think most of his fights are pay-per-view.
Yeah, exactly.
Let me see.
So when we're talking about, oh, well, it's the Tyson Fury, it's Tyson. No, and Dylan's absolutely right. It's not. It's because it's the two of us. But it takes two to tango, and it's to capture the imagination and the attention of the audience.
Interesting. Skyliner says Leah is speaking the truth.
1 second, ladies and gentlemen.
I think Bill and Derek James have been drinking the same juice that Spencer drinks. It's called the late juice. Although we never had a time. Well, I never arranged a time for Derek, but Bill is aware. I spoke to him around 5 o'clock this afternoon, UK time, and he is due to jump on at 9. Maybe I'm over particular about time. It's only 4 minutes past 9, so maybe I got to give him a bit of time. But I have his word. I spoke to Bill. I speak to Bill quite regularly. Right now, they're in camp, obviously, for this massive fight in June in Melbourne, Australia. So, you know, it's actually a great pleasure and honor for us to have Bill with us, taking time out of camp, because I thought I saw him at him and Dev at the Spence fight. But when I spoke to him today, he said, no, we're in camp. We're in camp. So hopefully he'll log on soon. Both messages have gone through on his phone. Or maybe he's setting up, you know, Bill's very particular. He's probably setting up a background which is befitting of him coming on the show. Anyway, Frank Warren, let's read some comments here. Frank Warren and Bob Arum will be quiet if Dylan White turns up at the press conference talking rubbish when Dylan White wasn't there. Clown sentence. We're going to have 4 unified champions this year. So who's that going to be? That's going to be Spence, Charlo. What's the other ones? Obviously, Devin Haney.
Yep, and we got one already in Josh Taylor.
And we got one already. Oh yeah, he's still unified.
Still unified.
Speaking about Josh Taylor, I thought he couldn't make the weight, but now he's fighting his #1 contender.
Brother, he has to make the weight because you're thinking if he jumps up now, the only fight there for him would be because he's got the WBO.
Yeah.
He can move up, and the fight would be for him and Terence Crawford. Yeah? He can't fight Terence Crawford, bro.
Josh Taylor.
He can't fight Terence. I'm just being real.
No, but he had one bad performance though, Spence.
Tunde. That one bad performance was enough.
And
I mean, the Ramirez fight, I'm keeping it real. The Ramirez fight, a lot of Americans thought that Ramirez should have got the decision. Right? I don't think so. I think that Josh won that fight. But a lot of the Americans think that. They're of the thinking of that. So, you know.
Let's read this. They should have done more to bring Dylan White on side. People forget Dylan did a lot to promote the fight with AJ, and Fury and White could have been an incredible build-up. I would say yes, but the tickets have already been sold. So I guess from a promoter's standpoint, the tickets have been sold. And as I told her, Boxing News actually phoned me for my thoughts on the fight, and I was saying that, to be honest with you, Dylan's silence has helped sell the fight as well.
Of course it has. Of course it has. It's brought intrigue to it.
Hold on. This is Bill. Let me see what Bill says.
Wicked.
Yo, babe. Yeah, I sent the link to this phone. Oh, send it to this phone, yeah? Yeah, I sent it to this phone. I did. It's on WhatsApp, yeah, WhatsApp. Yeah? All right, cool. Bill Haney there, live on the thing. He got the link. You know, Bill's old school, so with this technology thing, he's not really on it as we are, or as I am. I'm not even on it. Spencer is the definite dinosaur. But Bill Haney will be joining us any second. He's got the link. We all just heard the phone call live on The Fight Is Right. And it's going to be great having Bill on just to discuss this upcoming bonanza of a fight. For a young kid, Devin Haney, a young boy, really stepping up, and wow, it's a big fight, Spence.
It's a massive fight.
It's a big fight, and there's a few questions I want to ask Bill with regards to contracts and yeah, there's a few questions I'm looking forward to, and I'm sure you've got your own questions, and all those online now, 329 people online.
Such a blessing.
Have your questions ready, because the man is in the building. Ladies and gentlemen, let me introduce to you the one, the only, the Mr. Brains behind the whole thing, a man who I am trying to emulate. I need to be like him first. Then you'll know we want to try and be better than him. But this is my brother from the same mother, the one, the only, Mr. Bill, the big boss, as I call him. Hey.
Yes, sir, brother. I mean, that was an amazing intro from my brother, from both my brothers, man. I appreciate it, and I humbly respect it, and thank you a lot for that. You know what I'm saying? That all those kind words, man. I hope I can
All right,
continue
before
to
we
live up
start,
to
let me
your
say to
opinion,
you,
brother.
Assalamu
Appreciate it.
alaikum. How's your fast?
Walaikum assalam, brother. Rahmatullah. Wa barakatuh. My fast is going amazing, brother. Going great.
Alhamdulillah.
Yes,
And,
alhamdulillah.
and that, you know what? That's a great way to start. What's the situation with Dev? Because I know this is a massive fight, and I would have thought, I mean, this is just my own personal opinion, that uh, fasting would really not tie in with the preparation needed for such a fight of this magnitude. Can you give us and tell the Fighters Right people a little bit about if Devon's fasting, and if so, how's that going?
Well, as a family, I'm fasting, but we hope that that Allah shows mercy and grace with Devin during this time. He's not able to fast because of his work regimen, so we just ask the mercy of Allah that he be blessed and victorious during the fight, and be able to make up his fast after the fight. But of course, that we pray, zakat. We try to do all the things that as Muslims we're supposed to do. In the wake of having something so big and historic on the table.
And for those who don't know or are not familiar with the word zakat, it simply means charity.
Yes, sir.
So as a Muslim, there's other ways to show your praise and your love for Allah, and that's giving. Be a giver. Zakat is charity, and yes, praise God for that
Yes.
insight there, Bill.
Thank you.
Spence, you want to go? We want to fire away first.
This is a big fight. This is a very, very big fight. Sorry, let me just say was that I am true man. He says, because thank you very much for the $4.99. Salute to you all. There we go. Salute to you all. Salute Trill Bill Haney, East Oakland legend, like Gary Payton. So yeah,
Absolutely. Thank you, brother, for I'm humbly and respectfully I really appreciate that. Gary Payton, GP, the glove is a legend in Oakland, and
come on, man.
it's an
Incredible
honor to be
basketball.
mentioned in the same sentence with someone that has did so much for our town.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Yeah. So
Spence.
what I was gonna say, the importance of this fight, having an undisputed world lightweight champion, and we've had great men that have been champions in the division, but they haven't been undisputed. Like, you gotta remember, like when Roberto Duran first won the world title, he won the WBA title. When he famously beat Ken Buchanan, we got a whole list. Julio Cesar Chavez was never undisputed world champion. That's mad, right? And I want you to know that Julio Cesar Chavez was never undisputed champion in any weight division. Your son has the opportunity now to be an undisputed champion in his early 20s. Has that put more emphasis on the desire to win this fight, brother Bill?
Actually, I try to just focus on George Kambosos as the man and the fighter that he is, and not get caught up in the accolades. Of course,
Okay.
going into it, we wanted to do everything that we could to get in this position. And ultimately, like I said, is to not necessarily get caught up in the hype of how historic it is, and actually just prepare for the man that will be across from us, and that's George Kambosos.
So what did you take from Kambosos when he would, in an interview, which you did through like a telecast thing, and he was referring to your son as boy? Did you take major offense to that?
Well, you know what? Fighters talk. I did my due diligence on an executive side. We had a working relationship throughout this whole process with Peter Khan, who's did an excellent job with George Kambosos. That's the manager. We also have Lou DiBella, who's did an excellent job also with George Kambosos as a promoter. So when it came time to negotiate and work with them, although I had a very short time to do it in terms of just the meat and the bones of it, I found it to be pleasant. They put it on the table. It was like take it or leave it, and of course we were happy to be able to take it.
it's interesting you touched on that. I heard that literally they gave you 24 to 48 hours. They
Right.
put the contract in front of you and literally said, "That's all you got. Make your mind up."
Right. But one thing that you know, Tunde, is this has been a 15-year journey, a process, a 15 years of work to get to this point. So 24 hours was enough for us. We
Come on.
we talked, we prayed on it, and you know, ultimately we made the decision to move forward. And it was a decision that most fighters and management teams said that they wouldn't do. One of the clauses was that it not only be a rematch clause, a one-way rematch clause, but it'd be a one-way rematch clause with the next fight also being in Australia, which was
Yes.
which was something that we had to wrestle with, because once you become undisputed champion, it would seem to me that then you have a certain kind of bargaining power that you're able to have it where you want to have it at. You know what I mean? But
Touch on it.
that wasn't an option that was on the table. I don't want to cry over or spilled milk or whatever. We accepted it, you know. So as men, you know, we roll with it. We don't complain. We just put our nose down and grind.
I know that, you know, as you just alluded to or just said, that this has been a 15-year process. A lot of people are not aware that the way you've built up Devon, having people, you know, I remember coming to the gym and seeing no gal in the gym, girls in the gym. And I'd be like, bro, this is a little, I'm in my head, because, you know, me and you sit down and we
Yes.
talk, we'll be
Right.
reasoning before training, Bill.
Right.
And in my head, I'm saying to myself, this is a smart mother. You gotta say it, because you put these quote, you know, so-called traps, or not traps, but you know, things
Distractions.
around Devon from a
Yeah.
very early age
Yes.
to prepare his mind for what eventually or what inevitably would happen as he got
Absolutely.
older. You know, women, fame, all these things. One thing I was very, and I feel is a key thing, is you taking him down to Mexico and fighting in Mexico at a very young age. Touch on that, please, Bill.
Oh, absolutely. Well, you know, it's just the things that, you know, me learning growing up, that if you tell me no, if you tell me don't do that, don't go over there, don't go, it made it, you know, it made me want to go do it. It made me want to go see it. So as a
Yes.
father, you know, I think as we get older, we have more wisdom. So what I wanted to do is just say, that ain't nothing. I want to show him and say, listen, that ain't nothing. You see them over there? That's nothing, you know? And that was my approach to it. You know what I mean? Is letting him, letting him be aware, but ultimately making the decision that, you see, that's temporary. That's not legacy. That's not history. That's the regular stuff, you know?
Mm.
And as far as Mexico, um, going to Mexico was a great breeding ground for Devin to be able to go into this kind of fight that we have. Kambosos talks a lot about us being in a hostile territory, a hostile place. Mexico, that's where we started out. And
Come
I want
on.
to always give a big shout out to Tijuana and Mexico, because the people, they opened us with open arms, but they also treated us like the villain, right? They would cheer for their hometown guy, right, which was okay with us, but they would almost, it would almost be like Devin was a celebrity. He was the villain that showed up. Everybody wanted to come out and see the locals, that is, come out and see the upset. You know what I mean? And we kind of took pride that, okay, well, that ain't gonna happen. Y'all can come on, you can scream, you can do everything that you're doing. So that was a small preparation for us in terms of getting ready for the crowd, getting ready to go into a hostile territory. You know, and I think that Devin is going to do well.
And I can vouch for that, because I remember sitting in the gym one day and I'm saying, so what are we gonna do with Devin? And I remember you just saying casually, yeah, man, we're gonna take him down Mexico, get a few get a few fights down there, and then boom. Next thing, as I
Yeah.
said, Spencer will back me up on this. Devin has given the name the dream. And to me, Bill, I say this, it is a dream.
Yeah.
It's like and the dream is about to be fulfilled. So it shows me the possibilities. You know, online we have a psychotherapist, Shante, my Marshy, and she's obviously that's her job. And you know, it's one thing talking about it, but it's one thing being in the presence and seeing this thing from the start. And hats off to you, sir. I'm just, you know what, that is with me. Is every day I talk to you is like I'm meeting you for the first time again. so it's all good. But moving forward, I know you've had a great relationship thus far with Eddie Hearn and DAZN.
Yes.
But Eddie's not in this. So, I mean, what's that been
it's
like?
very unfortunate, but yeah, no, it's very unfortunate because we've had a great relationship with Eddie, both Eddie and DAZN, the whole team, Sean, you know, the attorney over there. They're just a wonderful group of people, and we had a great relationship with them. Ultimately, Eddie, when we would talk about it, Eddie would say that I'll never hold Devin back from getting a legacy defining fight. And that was what our agreement was. We got to the point where first we did 5 fights, and then we decided that because it was a lot of cross the street talk, and it's a lot of stuff that they said that Eddie wouldn't be able to make happen. Well, when I first did the deal with Eddie, I mean, almost all of Eddie's guys were fighting against top ranked guys, you know, Anthony Corolla, Luke Campbell, so on and so forth.
Yes.
So it was under my belief that we were just signing up with Eddie, and we were going to go in there as a B-side to any top-ranked fighter or any fighter for that matter, and then do what ultimately become an A-side, the A-side, right? I knew that Bob Arum worked with Eddie. You know what I mean? I had seen it time and time again, but ultimately, I think that it was a tug of war with them on who would actually promote Devin. Bob Arum, because we fought on a Bob Arum and card. I believe it was Timothy Bradley and Manny Pacquiao. That was early on. We couldn't come to an agreement, and so we went back to Mexico. And then ultimately, now knowing after having the meeting with Bob and his entire staff that they really wanted to be in the Devin Haney business. And for me, that's what you ultimately want as a manager or a trainer, is the fact that you want everyone to want to be in the business. Unfortunately, Bob, Lou, and Eddie couldn't come up to an agreement, right? So we had to ultimately come up with an agreement with Lou, and he kept his word. He told me that if the Lomachenko fight didn't go through, that he would be giving me a call, and that's what he did.
And again, there seems to be a little bit of backtracking from Kambosos, because at first, if I'm not mistaken, he said if you were to win the Theo fight, first man getting a shot is Devin.
Absolutely.
So I'm like, bro, how this thing switched to Lomo? How that happen?
I don't know, and that was one of the things that I kind of had was a problem or a pet peeve that I had with Kambosos, is the fact that Devin and him had a relationship. They were talking and they were discussing things as bosses, right? He said Kambosos said that he was in control of his destiny. Devin said that, you know, of course, that he's in control of his, and that they ultimately agreed to make the fight. Once he beat Teofimo Lopez, then we heard something different, and we were surprised to hear it. He said that he was going to go on a tour and he was going to go and watch all of the other lightweights. As a champion, and a champion that he says that he is, as an emperor, well, you don't go watch the challengers. The challengers come watch you. Mm-hmm. That's what being a challenger is accepting all the challengers to come. So as a champion, you saying that you're picking, I don't understand that. I think that as a real champion, you accept the challenge.
Fantastic. Spence?
Yeah. I've seen quite a few questions coming in, and mention the work with Ben Davison. What was the purpose of you bringing in Ben Davison into the camp him being a young trainer and stuff like that. Not an experienced trainer, but a dedicated one. What was the thought process in bringing him in? Especially like you had Mickey Bay in the camp. I remember you used to do a bit of work with Mike McCallum and stuff like that, who are far more experienced than Ben Davison. What was the thought process, Bill, in bringing him in?
Well, I kind of looked at it different. I looked at it more so like it takes a village to raise a child, as well as it takes a village to raise a champion. I've always been under the belief that if there's something or someone that can bring something to the table for Devin, my ego will never stand in the way of that.
Okay.
Ben Davison,
1 second there. Round of applause for that one, Bill.
So,
Come on.
Ben, we met Ben during the days where he was training Tyson Fury. We met him over at Capitilio's gym. Both him and Lee Wiley do a great job in preparing for a fight. They would send over videos and stuff like that. You know, both great guys. You know, Devin ultimately made the decision to bring Ben in, and I rolled with it. You know, and that's how it first started. You know, and take nothing away from, you know, his style of coaching is his style of coaching. We got together and we meshed it together, and we had two great fights. And Jorge Linares and both Jojo Diaz.
Is he involved in this camp?
Not to my knowledge. Right now, he hasn't been in the camp. Ultimately, like I said, that comes down to Devin. You know what I mean? If Devin said today, you know what I mean, Tunde is coming to the camp, I'd open you with open arms, or Spencer. You know what I'm saying? But right now, we're working with it's me, Big Rodney, you know, who's also in the camp. We got Mike.
Long time. Rodney's been there from
he's been there
the
forever.
jump.
He's been there from the beginning. He's been there.
Sorry, go on. You said Mike McCallum back in the camp, is he?
Mike McCallum has been in the camp as
Press
well.
the button, Tun. Press the button, Tun.
Yes.
And let me tell you something. I'll give you a joke. Because when Mike McCallum was on the show, Mike McCallum was like, "Yeah, I'm not too sure. You know, me have to work with Devin, man. They need me back in the camp."
He said, "What, Tunde? What did he say?"
Yeah, it's like, bro, I want to be in the. Basically, he was saying that I want to be back in the camp because Devin is such a talent,
Yes.
you know, and
Yes.
I want to use that. I want to be able to bring my experience.
Absolutely.
To help Devin achieve the dream.
Absolutely.
Exactly.
Like I said, I opened, you know, I have open arms for Mike when he brought Mike back in. You know what I mean? And we've been working, you know, keeping our nose down and just grinding.
Excellent.
But Devin can fight, man. He can really fight. You know what I'm saying?
Listen, man. I remember, yeah, we were sparring. Devin was about 2012. So I'm trying to do the math. Devin must have been about 2012.
About 13, 14 years old, something like that.
So he was sparring with one you, Spencer, called Daniel. Daniel's a big man. So Devin gets in the ring with Daniel and Devin busts him up. I'm like, nah, what's going on?
James Tony Daniel.
Huh?
James Tony Daniel.
No. There's a youth called Daniel who come up with us. He was in the gym with us. He never turned pro or nothing. He was an amateur. But I was saying to him, Devin got in. Devin was a young kid, 13 years old. And in my mind, you know, I'm old
13,
school.
yeah.
I don't care. If you're 12, you ain't beating me, fam. Like,
yeah. He was 12, 13 years old.
12, and he got in the ring, and he was incredible. Yeah. And I remember Bill saying to me, "You tell me you ain't never seen a kid like that before." I'm like, bro. So, man. Devin can fight, as you said. So I'm just reiterating that point.
Oh, that was a wonderful time and a great experience to come to Peacock Gym. And you guys, man, just made us feel like home. You know what I'm saying? Made us feel like we were at home. We came out there for the Olympics. I wanted Devin to experience getting a chance to see Errol Spence, who was on the Olympic team then.
Yes.
Lomachenko was on the Olympic team then as well. You know, Usyk, that whole year, you know. Clarissa Shields ended up winning the gold. But we spent 30 days. We spent the whole entire 30 days inside, you know, in London, just so Devin could, you know, I never wanted him to to ever think that it was a tough man over here or over there or over there. I wanted him to know that every man puts on the pants one leg at a time. That was my whole purpose of taking him everywhere. We got a chance to go. Like a lot of the fighters that you'll know that are coming along, Devin has already knocked on their door. You know what I mean? Tank Davis, we knocked on his door in Upton Gym. We went to see him. You know, of course, Shakur, we knocked on his door, and Newark. You know what I mean? We just went everywhere. I took him everywhere, all around the United States, all and parts of the world, just so he would never feel like someone has an advantage because they grew up somewhere else. You know.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, Assalamu alaikum to my brother Yusuf Moore, and he says, Bill is a real father. Simple as that.
Mashallah.
Yes, sir. Big up, Punch Drunk Boxing. Thank you for the $9.99.
Salute my guy, Punch Drunk. He's a real one.
Yeah, he says the knowledge, the historical voice of boxing. Tunde, prestige trainer. Bill Haney, manager of the YR Trailblazer, the boxing gods blessing us with this historic year of boxing. Haney, undisputed bound. Yes, sir.
Hey, thank you, there, Punch. You know, and what we say is, inshallah.
Inshallah.
God willing.
Will of God. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. So, I mean, enlighten me. So, in terms of this actually making this fight, was it hard? I mean, Ludabella was the one. I mean, break that down. How this thing came about.
Well, like I kept constant communication with his manager Peter Kahn, right? You guys know Peter.
Yeah, I know.
I would call Peter to the point. You know, I call him every day, every other day. You know what I mean? And he's like Bill, trust me, it'll happen. If the thing doesn't work with Lomachenko, it's going to happen. It's going to happen, right? He said that George wants to fight Devin, right? I was always optimistic that George would be a man of his word, it to me, once the fight was announced, I couldn't even think about how hard it was. You know what I mean? Then it was just alhamdulillah. It was just, thank God that it's happened. And it felt like the 15 years, the 24 hours of negotiating, or the 5 months of calling him, all just seemed like it was like yesterday. You know what I mean? It's like it didn't feel like work. You know what I mean? And most of the time, working for my son doesn't feel like work. It's love. It's something I love to do. You know what I mean? I do it as much as I can when I'm not on the tennis court with my younger son. You know what I mean? Or that's kind of like, that was our hobby, to go to the tennis court, and he's developed a real passion for it now. So I'm double dutying with both the tennis and the boxing. So I'm just never.
So you're moving like King. You're moving like King Richard, but it's King Bill.
Hey, listen. Everyone says I gotta watch that whole. I gotta watch that entire movie. Gotta watch that entire movie, man. But yeah, it's just like it's never a bad day. It's never a bad day, because even when they're trying days, I can't wait to go home, meditate on it, think about it, work on it, and then inshallah wake up and work on what was the problem the day before. You know what I mean? So or come up with a solution. So it's like I don't have bad days at all.
Come on. And you know what just came into my head? Me and Anthony was laughing about it the other day. When Devin is still young, so it sounds funny saying when he was young, but when he was younger, we came into the gym and Devin was sitting on the ring apron, and Bill knows I'm a disciplinarian. I don't mess about. Everything has to start on time. We're here to do work. We're not here to mess about. So I came in the gym, and Devin must have been up all night talking to a girl on his phone or something like that. Or and Bill said to Devin, "Go on, tell Tunde what you was doing last night. Tell Tunde what he's doing last night." And Devin start crying. Devin start, why are you telling Tunde? What are you telling Tunde for, man? What are you telling Tunde? The stories, Bill, they don't know.
Because you don't do anything that you're ashamed of. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't want to, don't take advantage of me being your father, that you have these secrets and all this other stuff. You know what I mean? Man. Don't do anything that you don't want to come out in the light. You know what I'm saying? So that's what
amazing.
But I learned from Floyd. I learned from Floyd that we have 24 hours in a day. So we're going to get our work in. You know what I'm saying? Within that 24 hours, we're going to get that work in, you know? Yes. And it just was about not taking the old school approach that if we don't do it at 6 a.m., then we miss out. If you don't do it at 6 a.m., then you're not dedicated, you know, because different people are different ways. I'm a morning person. He's an evening person, right? Which translated to he comes alive during the fight. While I'm maybe start going to sleep, I'm ready to go to bed. He's up and he's right. So he's up and lively and he's ready to go. So, you know, it works out good for him and his career. And that's you know, that's a blessing.
Again, man, it's great for the people on live now to hear this, you know. And I guess sometimes when you look at, you know, people in that position, in the spotlight, you can sometimes think that they just got there by some abracadabra, but there is actually a process that has to be adhered to and a strict format of getting to that position. It's a lot of hard work, a lot of sacrifice, and a lot of people don't realize that Devin, you know, having that head guard, the American head guard, I'll never forget that head guard. And the way that this is all played out. And you know what, Bill, I know we're gonna win come June the 5th. I think it's the 5th in Australia and it's the 4th in the US. The dream will be, I see the two of you laughing when you say when Kambosos said he's scared, and the two of you just laughed at the same time, like, man, what are you talking about scared? Like,
yeah, absolutely. I think what he's relying on, and it's unfortunate that I'm sure that he's put in a lot of work and to get to the point that he's almost relying on the fact that he's going to have some hometown cooking, right? And what you must understand that it's judges and referees who've put in as equal amount of work to get on this big stage, and to think that they're going to lose their credibility or they're going to do things to cast doubt on them, you know what I mean, might be underestimating, you know, people. It might be underestimating the platform that we're on, right? To think that they would do that. You know what I'm saying? That their big moment on ESPN, on Australian pay-per-view, so on and so forth, you know, that then they'll do something that's not right. So the fighter is going to do everything right. The trainer is going to do everything right. The promoter is going to do everything right, right? But the judge is not. The referee is not. So I go into it. You know what I mean, with a clear head and an open heart. That, you know what I'm saying, that both Devin and George Kambosos is pushing the boxing forward, and it would be a travesty and a shame for a judge or a referee to push the boxing back. You see a lot of times that everyone is talking about what happened with Jeff Horn and Manny Pacquiao. So one thing that the Australian, the one thing that the Australians can do is to make right on a wrong and just have a fair fight. That's all we look forward to. It's just having a fair fight. And
I'm renowned to always say, like, what you think about, you bring about. And no one don't need to tell you, because you've done it countless times. Your son's unbeaten. Your son's a WBC world champion, right? You've been on this for a long time. So I can't even say like, oh, well, we're looking at these dodgy decisions and all the rest of it, because what I do see and I believe this is on global boxing, because everything germinates from the UK. There was massive complaints about the scoring systems in the UK, and they have made adjustments to it right now. And if you know anything, the rules that we abide by in this country came from the late 1800s, with the Marcus of Queensbury rules. So these rules this is like, the UK is paramount in the thinking of how boxing goes out. You know what I mean? Hence why the British Board of Control is the longest affiliate body in boxing. So when we're thinking about that, I wouldn't be too concerned about, oh well, we're going to, and I don't think you are anyway. But to the people listening, I don't think anybody should be overly, oh, we're abroad and this is, because what's going to pan out is what's going to pan out. I'm a firm believer is that there are no rule robberies in boxing, right? There's massive incompetence. I agree with it, but a fight of this magnitude, knowing that it's being sold globally around the world for the undisputed championship, I don't believe that's going to be the case. That's number one. But number two, what makes you so confident that you're going to come out victorious come fight night?
Well, skills pay the bills.
Come on.
And also, your son has shown in the Hogan and Aris fight that he's got heart to play the part.
Oh, absolutely. And what Floyd said is, to have a Hall of Fame career, you must have a Hall of Fame chin. So Devin has a chin, a granite chin. If you know, you can hear that Devin has been in the ring with just about everybody.
Yes.
No one has ever, he's never hit the canvas. He's never had a bloody nose. He's never had any of those things. Not that that's not a part of the game, but it's just that skills pay the bills. We've never been in a fight, a split decision fight. George Kambosos, his last 3 fights have been split decisions. So, we think that stylistically, we match up very well against him. When you talk about the feet work, Devin hasn't beat in that department. I think when you talk about the jab, Devin has a great jab, great ring generalship, defense alike. So it's things that George brings to the table. He has a great heart. He also has a tremendous work ethic. So I know that he's going to come in shape and ready to go. But these are the things that make you great. Having great challenges on big stages like this. So I hope and I wish that George Kambosos well, and I hope that he's healthy and has a great training camp, and that we're able to just put on a great performance and in front of the world.
Backtracking a little bit, Bill, with regards to the contract and the deal, am I right in saying that it's a free fight deal that you've signed, meaning that there's a rematch clause with Kambosos when he loses? I don't want to say if he loses, when he loses to Devin on June the 5th, and the rematch is going to be in the same place, Australia.
No,
and
absolutely.
Then there's a third fight. That's what I'm not too sure about.
Absolutely, but the thing for us was that, and they don't know it, but I mean, it could have been 10 fights after this one. We were going to do everything to make this fight happen. But right now, the person that's on the table is George Kambosos, and we're not looking past him. Any fight after George Kambosos is not important. It's not relevant right now. Of course, like I say, Bob over at Bob and Jeremy, have did a great job at putting it on the table for us, giving us the opportunity to make this thing happen. And that's all that we're looking forward to now. You know what I mean? We're ecstatic. Like George says, it can't happen fast enough. And then after, inshallah, once we handle the business with George, then we might start looking at it and saying, damn, what did we do?
Yes, definitely. One thing at a time. Yeah, I love that. Joe Farmer says, Tunde, Spence, and Bill, what is the secret to staying humble and hungry after the success you guys have? Well, they see us every day. Bill, the question goes to you. You know, what is your secret to staying humble and hungry, even
Well,
at this stage of your career?
well, getting to the age that I am, I've got a chance to see a lot of people go up and fall back down. You know what I'm saying? I've seen people
Mm,
down and go up. So you know, it's not where you at. It's the person that you are. You know what I mean? And I think that remaining humble and being a good person means everything. You know, at whatever stage or whatever tax bracket that you are. You know what I mean? Because a lot can take it away.
come on.
Yeah, like it's been given, it can be taken away. You know that
Yes.
fast. You know what I mean? And I'm blessed to have you know 4 wonderful kids. You know what I'm saying? That are healthy, and you know, each have their own
Masha.
personality, and they're doing their own thing, and that's just a blessing. That's a blessing. You know, you see a lot of things going on in the world today, and you know, even in the Ukraine, I'm sure that, and both Ukraine and Russia, on both sides, you have people that have a lot, you have people that have a little, but what they're going through is just it's unthinkable. You know, to watch your relatives, watch your sons, watch your daughters, you know what I mean, be killed or be harmed in any way. You know what I'm saying? So I'm just truly blessed, man, and that's what keeps me humble.
Good. Just a few questions, because I know, as I say, you're in camp, and it's really a blessing to have you here with us today. But you know, just a few questions from the fans, from the viewers. John Khan asked the question. He said, "Can I ask, what does Islam mean to you and the Haney family, and how does it impact your life?" Big up you lot for putting this on.
Well, Islam is for me. Islam is a way of life, right? It's what we do. It's a guide to me to understanding what my real purpose is, and my purpose is to be a soldier of Allah, to be a servant of Allah, and it's been great. The more that I learn, the more that I understand of my responsibility as a father, as a leader of my family, is to introduce them to religion, introduce them to Allah. And someone sent something to me that said an irresponsible father, an irresponsible husband is an irresponsible father that doesn't introduce his kids to Allah, that doesn't prepare them for to be servants of Allah as well. You know, so that's it. Just it's been a lot to me. It's been a lot to me and to my thinking and to my family.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Masha.
Spence.
Yeah.
Um,
I saw a question on there. Someone was asking, who was it, SS10, I believe it was. Who's Bill Haney's favorite fighter? I could answer that myself. I know who they are, but who's your favorite fighter?
Sugar Ray Leonard is my first. My
come on.
first. My first. That's Muhammad Ali is my all time favorite. Of course, things that Ali did, you know, I mean, was just, I mean, man, both inside and outside the ring is incredible. You know what I mean? It's almost like, you know, you can't pattern yourself. You can't pattern a fighting style after Ali. You know what I mean? So next being in line being Sugar Ray Leonard, who Devin, you know, I like to always send Devin videos of Sugar Ray. Mike Tyson, Floyd Mayweather. Yeah.
All these guys, and
What
because of
about
you,
you guys?
because
Well, I'm interested, Spencer. What about you and Tunde? Who are you guys' favorite fighters?
well, let me answer before Spencer, because Spencer's got a catalog. But now that you've just said Sugar Ray Leonard, I'm gonna draw out the tape, the original tape with training sessions, fights of Sugar Ray Leonard that I stole from Spencer 15, 20 years ago. I'm
20
gonna
years ago, he
resurrect
stole
it.
that from you, Bill.
Oh
This
He
wow!
guy
was
had
a thief
a
then,
tape.
and he's a thief now. Hold my tape back to him.
But so Sugar Ray Leonard is my man, like yourself. Ali's your man. Mike Tyson is, I'm gonna say, I got into boxing because of Mike Tyson. Mike Tyson and I remember Roger Mayweather saying to me that the energy Mike created on fight night in Vegas was like no other. And you would know about that better than me. But Mike Tyson, and then the money man, Floyd himself. I don't think there's anyone from this generation who hasn't been inspired. I mean, you've just said, you know, we learned from Floyd. Me and you was both going to the gym, taking notes.
You remember that
And-
Roger? Remember Roger and Floyd Sr., me and you just watching and just taking notes and comparing, going back home and talking about it. Brother, you have, and you as a trainer, you got it. You've got the combination of both of them. You've studied them so long. I watch you and Anthony, right? And I'm just amazed how much you got it. You know what I'm saying? And only thing that I wish is that you were in the United States.
Yeah, I know. It's gonna happen. We're gonna. This thing, the journey continues, and we just see. Spence, who's your favorite fighters?
Willie Pep, I loved it a lot. I think Willie Pep's incredible. Henry Armstrong, freeweight world champion, held titles simultaneously. Most probably one of the greatest fighters to ever live. We all like Sugar Ray Robinson for the fact it was Sugar Ray Robinson.
Yes.
If I say Muhammad Ali, it's because I'm just cheating because everybody loves Ali. But I'm just going to be real with you. Name me a human being that has beat the Supreme Court. You can't. Ali's the only man that's done it. He beat the Supreme Court. Yes. But for that, no one can't tell me that man weren't blessed by God. Nobody. I don't care. Nobody. Ali, different breed for what he stood for. How he then amalgamated so many different faiths and people. How he stood up for him being a Muslim but standing up for Jewish people. Come on, man. No. Ali, something else. Ali, as a human being, forget about his fighting skill. Forget about the guy, like when he beat Sonny Liston in February 25th, 1964, sorry, right? That guy there was incredible. The things that Ali could do, his footwork, his speed, he was loquacious, he was good looking, and he was just proud to be who he was. So for that guy there, when everyone like in America talks about this Mount Rushmore, it's only one picture up there. That's Ali, him, no one else. But the guy that you got working with your son again now, in Mike McCullum, he's one of my favorites. I'll tell anybody, if you want to learn boxing, go and watch Mike McCullum's fight with James Toney. The first fight ended in a draw. What was that? December 13th, 1992. Go and watch that fight.
I'm watching that as soon as we get.
All right, go watch that fight. Right, go. If you want to learn boxing, there's two fights. So I'll say to young fighters, you want to go learn boxing. I say to watch Mike McCullum, James Toney, the first fight. Mike McCullum, I think it's round 3. Mike McCullum goes jab body, jab head, right hand, jab body. In the same round, James Toney stole that move and done the same thing. Jab body, jab head, right. Right?
Knowledge.
Right? That's incredible. But then also, I would say to anyone, and because Bill said he loves Sugar Ray Leonard, I would say to watch Sugar Ray Leonard, Wilfred Benitez, November 29th, 1979. Sugar Ray Leonard, Las Vegas, when he stops Wilfred Benitez in the 15th and final round. But watch that for skill, where you get two guys who are kind of mirror images of each other, standing on top of each other. Jab, catch, counter, throwing back jab, 1-2s down the pipe and back on the jab. That for me is boxing. But like I said, Gene Tunney is one of my favorite fighters because he's a boxing mover. But I got too many. I could go on forever and ever and ever when it comes to these kind of.
Listen, you went back to, like I said, Willie Pep. Willie Pep is somebody that I study a lot in terms of his footwork. You know, Sugar Ray Robinson. I was just watching Sugar Ray Robinson. That hook that he had was vicious. I just sent that to Devin. You know how he turned into it, right? And he turned back with the brick. I mean, he's just he was. Sugar Ray was even Mike Tyson says that Sugar Ray Robinson was an all-time great. He was probably the baddest guy.
Well, listen, Carl Hunter, who's Hassan, says, salute, Bill. I can't wait to see you and Devin in my country. I hope to meet you guys and say hello. That's an Australian. So we already got the Australian fans backing us, Bill.
Hey, listen, shout out to the UK. I can't wait to come back there. But you know, Mike, I don't know if you guys can see this picture. Hold on. Can you see a picture?
Yeah, Mike Tyson.
That's Mike Tyson. That's his daughter. That's my son. And they're on the tennis court now. You know?
Wow.
And yeah, Mike has been Mike,
press it. It's gone off. The screen's gone off. But yeah, go on. We saw the picture.
Yeah. But Mike has been Sean's tennis coach. Mike hooked us up. You know what I mean? So he's been behind the scenes, always instrumental, always picks up the phone, anything that I need or ask, you know what I'm saying? And so Mike, I have to give a special shout out to Mike because
we need Mike on the show. Bill, if you can pull that one off, Mike Tyson, we need him.
Oh,
we need him when the fight is right.
Absolutely, I'll pass the word.
Come on, man.
Mike, off the camera and outside the ring and all that, he is a really special dude, man. He is really something special, man. He's always been that to his friends and almost to a fault, you know what I mean? And he'll tell you, like, the things that he will do for his friends and his family, man. He's something special. So I just wanted to, you know, also want to put him on that pedestal. I was fortunate
enough to go to Mike's house and meet his wife, Kiki. And the reason why, because his wife's got the same name as my daughter. So I got to meet his family and stuff like that. And I hosted Mike in Vegas. So I was pretty gassed about that. And
so you know,
I'm mad on history. So it's one of those kind of mad on boxing history, and I've got a mad memory for it. So we chopped up. That was an honor for me. It's like I was chopping it with Mike Tyson. So yeah, Mike's good people.
He's a good guy, right? Good guy.
Yeah, beautiful guy. And you know why he's a beautiful guy? Because he shows you his flaws. So it's not those ones you get people who walk around like their shit don't smell. No, he's changing. Like, boy, this is where it is, and that's why I respect him.
Right.
You know what I mean?
So anytime that it's like Devin, you know what I'm saying? If it's something that I feel that a point that might need to get across with Devin, that and it's someone that, you know, it's like that, you might not know what I'm going through, right? I call up Mike. I say, Mike, Devin needs to talk to you. His dad's like, oh man, what? Yeah, Mike, what's going on? And they talk, and then after, Devin always says, thanks, Dad. You know what I'm saying? Thank you. You know,
excellent.
Because Mike keeps it 100% real.
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Bill, listen, I'll be honest with you. We can keep you here till midnight UK time. I don't know what that's in Vegas right now, but it has been an absolute pleasure as always, and we're gonna keep this going. You know, we're gonna talk to you after Dev wins the fight in June, and probably before. I think we still got what are we in now? We're April, May.
7 weeks away. It's 7 weeks away. We got 7 weeks.
Wow.
That's gonna go quick, you know.
That's gonna go quick.
Absolutely.
That's gonna go quick.
Absolutely. How far is the UK to Australia? I wish, you know what,
24 hours.
23-hour flight.
Yeah. And if I would have known that what I was going to be doing in life, I would have spent more time paying attention in geography class. Right?
Yeah.
I don't know, you know, south from north.
Me too.
From west. You know what I mean? But yeah.
So well, let me tell you something. You've done a fantastic job with your children, and sometimes that's what we're put here. You know, people are put here for certain things, and the example that you've shown, the job you've done thus far with your children, is very admirable. And keep doing what you're doing, Bill. As I say,
and if I could just say something to the young brothers and the young sisters who feel that they're not, that it's not their time right now. They're questioning, you know, what's going on in life and their purpose. Bro, like, stay down. You know, just stay down, because I'm having the time of my life at 50 years old. I thought at 20 and 30, right? But by the blessing of Allah, I'm with my son and my kids and stuff, and my time came after, you know, and it came in a different way. And it came in a different way, you know. So yeah, everything that you want someone to give you, you know, wait and give it to someone else. You know what I'm saying?
Come on,
That person.
man.
Yeah.
Press that
Come
button.
on, man.
Press that
Beautiful.
button.
Absolutely, brother.
Beautiful.
But I love and I appreciate you guys, man. Thank you for everything. And yeah, call me at any time, Tunde Spencer. Anything that you guys need, you know, up my way. You know, you got it. No hesitation. Okay.
Come on. Ladies and gentlemen, an honor, a pleasure to have my friend, happy to call him my friend, my brother, the one, the only, the mentor, the man with the plan, Mr.
Appreciate you, brother.
Bill
Mashallah.
Haney.
And salam alaikum, rahmatullah.
Yes, sir. Salam alaikum.
Okay. All right, King.
Thank you, everyone. Spence, beautiful.
That's excellent.
That was beautiful interview.
That was absolutely excellent, and he gets it. You know what I mean?
He gets it.
He knows the thing. You know, he knows
And you see what he said at the end? He said, don't fret. Just because you may not be getting yours now, your job is to give another. Givers, as I always say, givers gain. And it's just, we're here for different things happen for people at different times. Your job is to just enjoy the journey. Enjoy the journey. And that was an interview for the ages.
It was. And you know, within the time when the interview was going on, I got 2 phone calls from Derek James.
Wow.
You know what I mean? I said, you know what? I just texted him and said, boy, can we do it another day? Like, do it in a week, because we're busy right now. Because that was just so cool. That was a genuine chat. And usually, like, you could just talk. You don't want to just listen, because it's a fantastic story, showing the intricacies of the business, showing how far you two have gone back, and like, they're just waiting for your bus now for you to bring your world champion, which I know, inshallah, we're going to get that this year. And it was just cool just to hear the bits of the business, the fact that they're unfazed. I like the fact that they brought back Mike McCullum.
Trust me.
For no other reason is that Mike McCullum ain't a trainer. I want man to just realize this part here. He is not a trainer. Mike McCullum is not going to get a kid from wherever and build them up and and all the rest of it. But what he knows for the little small intricate details is, yeah, he knows a thing. And it's just that energy of Mike going there with his old head. And to see that, I'm like, yeah, they're crossing all the T's and they're dotting every I that's coming available to them. And I like that. I like the fact that they're building certain things for this thing. And like I'm saying, yeah, I'm looking forward to that fight. Period.
It's gonna happen. It's gonna
Right?
happen.
And not only that, but the way how, don't get twisted, Kambosos is a good fighter. You know what I mean? Kambosos is a good fighter. And I'm looking forward to that fight. SS10 says, Spence, have you heard anything about Ben Whitaker? Apparently he's going with Matchroom now. Yes, apparently he's going with Matchroom to be fighting on DAZN. That's the talk. But also, the talk is that he's going to be trained by Sugar Hill.
Okay.
Right, that's the talk. That's who's going to be trained by. But we'll see with the announcement. But that's why I'm hearing the little whispers, and that's who allegedly that he's meant to be going with. And I'm saying, like, you know, good luck to the kid. But what I've also realized is this: in boxing, Tunde, sometimes we don't get certain people who are nuts and bolts kind of guys, but they'll end up getting a position in boxing. Right, so there'll be the heir of a young man who's a hot shot, who's been to the Olympics and all the rest of it. And the advisors haven't had the advice from people in boxing who have paved the way. So what they do, we become instantaneous glory hunters and look to somebody's name who's being called, yeah, he must be a great trainer now because look how he's reinvented Tyson Fury. I'm not saying that Sugar Hill's not a good trainer because he must know something because he was around Lennox Lewis in peak Lennox Lewis years. His uncle was the late, great Emmanuel Stewart. Not saying doesn't know nothing, but what I am saying is that people rush this thing so much. It's like there's talk now, like I said to you, that Amir Khan's going to take the Conor Benn fight, you know?
No.
Right? All right, Tom. You're going to take the Conor Benn fight.
No.
Because I heard yesterday, people was telling me that they booed him vicious at the fight. They booed Amir Khan vicious. And Amir Khan sitting down thinking like, boy, I ain't going to sneeze at 3 mil. He ain't going to sneeze at 3 mil. 3 mil's a lot of money. He ain't going to sneeze at that. He's going to take that fight. Watch and see, Tom.
All right.
Well, the talk is that he's going to train with Ben Davison. That's the talk.
You know, a question that was asked a lot about Ben Davison being in the camp for this Devin fight was answered, and Bill said no.
Yeah,
as far as I know. So it's. I mean, listen, he's got the old school G's, the old school guys around him, the guys that come up with him, you know, and everything is for a time. And as I said, having Rodney back in the camp, Rodney, he was there from when I first went to Vegas.
Okay.
You know, big guy, got the body belt on. He actually used to work with Floyd back in the day. So again, you can see what I can see.
The dark skin brother, yeah?
Huh?
The dark skin brother.
Yeah. Big guy. He was working with. He used to hold a thing with for Floyd as well. So you know, these guys have been around a long time, and it's good to have solid people around you that have seen you grow. You know, Devin is a young kid that all these people around they've watched Dev grow. You know, and I'm happy I have as well, from a 12, 13-year-old boy to, and that's why I kept on saying to you, it just don't seem real to me. It don't seem real because I've been in a van with Bill, driving from his house to 50 Cent's gym, and us talking about this thing. The two of us talking about it, you know, and him saying, "Please come to America. I want you to be here, train Dev." And I'm like, bruv, I got to go on my own path. You understand? And to see this happening in my own eyes, I'm like, yeah, there's nothing. And as I say, I always tell people, dream it, believe it, become it. It can happen if you believe and if you have the patience and the faith, and you know it happens when it's supposed to happen. So you know, it's their time, I believe, and we'll see it all played out. June the 5th in Australia and June the 4th back here. I think it'll be June the 5th for us as well, isn't it? Really, because it will be. We're always going to the Sunday night, so it's all good. Spence, it's been a great show. As you said, we'll have to get Derek James on another time if he can't come on now. But we've hit the 2 hour. We've gone past the 2 hour mark. I don't know.
Yeah, and that's the thing. I wanna overly drag it, to tell you the honest truth. I appreciate every single person that's been up on the snap. Appreciate every single person every single person that's been backing.
Because it's only 4 o'clock. It's only 10 past 4 in Dallas now, you know.
Okay. What, should I call him back?
Yeah. Why not? I mean, it's fresh off the win.
No, it's only because I told him. Only because I said, nah, it's all right. So, because I was in that talk and we hit the 2 hour mark to tell you the honest truth. And I didn't want to overly drag it out. Maybe we can grab him for tomorrow, because I think we should do for the week, and it'd be good to have another trainer for the week to come. The breakdown for the Dylan White breakdown, then the Tyson Fury breakdown, then the results. Because I mean, right now I've got to thank every single person that's liked, commented, subscribed, who keep on backing the thing. We got regulars in the house as well, but I'm just grateful because man
said get Derek James on now, fam.
I don't want to seem like an idiot. Like I just said to the man, like, nah, it's all right. The man think this guy's a joker.
Yes.
You know what I mean?
Yes. Thank you, Elijah. Thank you. Appreciate your comment. And
Come on,
yeah, listen.
let me just say, Elijah Fenn is one of the same guys who I'm saying, like, man, who properly back, man. Because I remember, like, when certain idiots would be making videos, and he'd be making videos to counteract these idiots. So that's what I'm saying. But I'm so appreciative, and there's nothing better to say you're sitting down. Thank you very much, Jim Black. You know what I mean? To be sitting down and doing something with your guy from who you knew from the ends, from the roads. The maddest thing is today I was dropping my mom back home to she's staying with my sister at the moment, and it's like, I mean, first time my mother's ever stayed at my home since we moved into the new pad. And I'm driving, and then I'm on Cole Harbour Lane. I'm on Cole Harbour Lane now. I'm driving, and like, Bear Man was like, "Rah, Spence, big up, da-da-da-da. You're the boxing guy, innit? Yeah, big up. Like, yeah, man, I watched the fight. Is right." So usually I'm going to get them stuff and I say, they know me from the work with ESPN or the mixing up with MTK Global or the time I was at Sky. No, brother. Man saying, "Rah, I watched the fight. Is right. You and your brother, you and that brother, you lot chop it up bad." I'm so grateful. You know what I mean? Seriously, that to me, because people don't get it, it's like ages will be getting the pats on the back outside of our community. It means a lot that we get the pats on the back, but it means even more so when you get it from your community, because your community is common unity.
I'm just reading from Jose. He said, "Shit, man, I might keep messing around with you Brits, man. There ain't no Brits like us." So yeah, you know what it is.
Yeah. You ain't gonna find this anywhere else. I'll tell you that straight for now. Because here you have two men who are talking about boxing, who actually have been involved in the sport collectively at every single level.
Yes.
Right?
A lot of these podcasters and these man nowadays, they even been boxers.
Bro, listen to me.
They even been in boxing.
Listen, I say to loads of these people, I'll listen to them talk boxing. I will listen to any of these guys. I'm not knocking no one who's got their podcast. Big up everybody on this thing, right? But I will listen to you. I will listen to you when you can demonstrate to me how to throw a left jab correctly. You know you want to press the button, Ton. Just press it.
Come on. All right, Spence. Big up the mayor of Brixton. Brixton in the house. Full next week. Dylan White. Maybe we try to get Derek on tomorrow. Let's do something tomorrow. We're definitely doing something this week. Ways to win Dylan White. Ways to win Tyson Fury. Building up to the humongous showdown next Saturday night.
How amazing is it? It's under a week to go.
Amazing,
right? Listen. I get emotional by it. Seriously, it's like I told you the other day. He FaceTime me? I just get emotional. It's like I'm just properly emotional that I'm telling people now, and to reiterate what Bill was saying, like, your time comes when it comes, but it's gonna come. But as Tunde, or as I used to always say to Tunde, just keep on working. Just keep on working. Because hard work pays. And hard work actually works. Keep on working. You know what I mean? A lazy man has an empty stomach. I'll tell you that now for straight standard. But
ladies and gentlemen,
so let's put the Trevor McDonald glasses.
Let us end the show. Those who have joined us from the US, those who have joined us from down under, Australia,
say
those
fair
from
income.
the UK,
fair income.
those from Tanzania, wherever you are in the globe, on the planet, we end by saying, first of all, thank you. And secondly, dream it, believe it, become it.
Come on down. Peace, two fingers. You'll get me and Tunde this week, where we'll be doing the Dylan White ways to win and keys to victory. We're doing the Tyson Fury ways to win and keys to victory. And then we'll ending it up with you guys' predictions and maybe we'll get you guys to jump on the live to debate with us as well. So we'll just put that one out there. But
Kenya in the house.
yeah, it's been Ken. No, big up Kenya.
Come on,
That's
come
big.
On.
That's big.
Old tight. All right, cool. Everyone, we see you in the week.
Peace, two fingers. We out.